Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's the Mac. Welcome back to another Wargame Design Studio Let's Play War of the Austrian Succession. Latest game released from the company in the Musket and Pike series. It's going to be a continuation of my introductory video. We're going to duke out a battle and do sort of a let's play and get down to like game mechanics and stuff, and you know, a bit like I usually do, but maybe put some more emphasis also on a bit on units and how it works and stuff for all new viewers of the channel. Please like and subscribe and stuff. All right, so it was pretty hard to choose something here. I've actually I've been playing some battles off camera just to get into the game. So I did the Battle of Molowitz, which is really fun. I did Prague, and I'm gonna do this, the Battle of Chotusitz. It's the first Silesian War. So we're gonna have a look at the documentation here. So this is, as I've showcased on the channel, they have a really good sort of run through of all the scenarios and what happened during the time span the game covers. So we got the Silesian theater. Yeah. So in the beginning there, what's it called? The Frederick the Great, or Frederick, with the Prussians. There was like a pretty complex league of alliances. I'm not going to go into all that because it's just really hard to keep track of. But a part of the power vacuum of the Maria Theresa, she became the leader of the Austrian Empire. It is, as I've said in the introduction, it is the pragmatic and the anti-pragmatic sort of one part of Europe and wanted it to be a certain way of succession of power. Another one was more, didn't really mind that much, and it could be somebody else that took power and stuff. So that's the basic, but it was also like a power vacuum and the grab for territories and stuff. But in 1741 there, Silesian theater. So in April, Prussians defeat the Austrians as Molowitz. In October, the Austrian forces evacuate Silesia under the Convention of Klein-Schellendorf. And in Central German theater, in the September, Franco-Bavarian forces, French and Bavarian forces, captured Linz and briefly threatened Vienna. And in November, the Franco-Saxon forces capture Prague. That scenario is in the game. It was pretty fun. It's just 8 turns. It was sort of more, it's kind of an easy scenario. You sort of just, storm Prague with lots of forces, and it was sort of a surprise attack, and so I think it was like a night attack or something. It was pretty, and they quickly got their light cavalry in there, and it was sort of game over for the city there. So, but it was a pretty fun scenario to play up. It's probably hard head to head. Anyway, allowing the Elector of Bavaria to be crowned there as the King of Bohemia. Then 1742, Central German Theater, February, Elector of Bavaria crowned Holy Roman Emperor as Karl XII. Austrians under Charles of Lorraine began preparations to relieve Prague, so they wanted to take it back. And in May, Prussians defeat the Austrians at Chotusitz. So we're going to do that battle. It's kind of an interesting battle, so we're going to fire that up and have a little bit of talk of it. So there's actually quite a few versions of this. This is the historical one. Then they have the alternate scenario assumes that Frederick was able to unite both wings. Yes, so the backdrop of the story, let's have a read here. So it's May 17th, 1742. It's a medium battle. It's kind of large, so we'll see how many episodes it'll be. It's in Chotusitz, Bohemia there. So it's a historical scenario. Frederick had been taken by surprise when an Austrian army under Charles of Lorraine moved against him. Instead of continuing operations against the French near Prague, Charles had managed to get himself into a position where he was between Frederick and Leopold of Anhalt-Dressau's 2 wings. When Frederick raced to join Leopold, the Austrians attacked near Chotusitz. once again, the discipline of the Prussian infantry would carry the day, though only after a bloody battle. Yeah, so historically, the Prussians won this battle, but it was a pretty bloody battle, man. And since Frederick's army was divided, he was racing down to reinforce because the Austrian army was pretty big, man. I think they had like 28,000 men in it. And the Prussian was split. I think they only had like 18,000 at present, so they were very outnumbered. But the Frederick was racing down with between 10 and 14,000 soldiers. So this is going to happen, I think, during the battle. We'll see how well it's portrayed. So I haven't played this. I don't know how it's going to play out, how the AI is going to behave and stuff. But I'm going to be sort of trying to play it as it was historically. I think I'm going to try and see what the computer does if I do what the Austrians. I think you're playing the Austrians here. So it's intended to play as the pragmatic alliance against the AI, but can be played from either side or head to head. So, it's intended to. So we'll go on the first here. So it's pragmatic alliance. I'm supposed to be the pragmatic alliance here, right? So let's do that. Yeah. So that's going to be automatic. We're going to be going in default rules, and we're going to see what happens. It's fired up. Yeah. So the Prussians go first. Okay, well, it's interesting. So I'm going to be going. I've been researching this battle in the House of History. So I think depending on what sort of historical, books or documentaries or whatever you take your accounts from, it's probably going to be a bit different from here and there. But let's have a look when the computer has made its course. So maybe what we're hearing is actually Frederick's reinforcements moving in. So, as it said in the description, Frederick's army had passed as a sort of encampment, but they thought nothing of it. I mean, the generals thought, it's just a minor force somewhere, and they sort of moved past it during the night. But that was actually the main camp of this whole army here that we see in the bottom here. So he made a big mistake there, but he sort of reinforced this Chotusitz. So there's going to be Prussian forces here. They mainly had their infantry in front of the village, and they had cavalry on each side, and that's basically what we have on the Austrian side as well. Once the computer is done, we can go into more detailed. But probably what we're hearing is it's starting at 7 a.m. Yeah, so I think around, historically at least, around 10 o'clock, 10:30 or something. The Prussian forces arrived with a pretty huge body of infantry, and we have this big pond here, and then so now we have anti-pragmatic melee. There's nothing going on, right? So yeah, now we can go. So I think historically the Prussian infantry sort of Frederick formed up his pretty huge infantry force here, and he did a counterattack later on in the battle. So the battle started off. Okay, we're going to go through units here. Some units here that are very spread out, I must say. So I think about around 7:30 or something, Prince Karl ordered his army to advance. He started sending his infantry forward towards this village here, and apparently there was some sort of a cannon duel going on. He was firing his cannons at the infantry and stuff. So there was some firing going on, and then the infantry went closer and closer, and the Prussians were lined up here, and they fired some guns, and they were sort of anticipating the attack. They were vastly outnumbered, but the Prussians had a pretty big cavalry contingent here that they actually attacked with, and this huge cavalry met up, and there was a massive cavalry fight going on here, and apparently the Prussians were taking the most of the brunt of that attack, taking most damage, and the Austrians were actually winning that fight and pushing the cavalry back. And there was even a clash here. The Prussians had cavalry in this flank as well. It's looking pretty slim here. The area of fighting is pretty slim here, but there was a cavalry fight going on here as well. And that was sort of, I think that was more of a stalemate going on. They were sort of engaged there, but the infantry went forward. It was sort of a big-ass fight going on here. And the Prussians were pushed back, but the Prussian infantry is going to be way more drilled and better, what do you call it, quality than the Austrians. So they're going to have that to their advantage. But being vastly outnumbered, they were pushed back and there's sort of setting fire to the houses and stuff. They did some pretty vicious counterattacks, and the Austrians really had trouble trying to dislodge this force here. And once that cavalry fight drifted off, Frederick came down with his infantry and sort of smashed into the to these poor Austrians here, and they were sort of slaughtered. And that's how they tried to meet that attack, but it was just too much, and they got defeated. And this cavalry was pushed back as well. So it was a loss for the Austrians. We'll see how it plays out here. We're going to have a look at all the units here. Jeez, look at all these skirmish units and stuff. Right, so first of all, we got 32 turns. It's dawn. Visibility is 4 hexes, man, so pretty low visibility. Very important to have a look at the parameter data. You can actually expand this window these days. So what's important here, you might say? Well, cavalry charge factor is important. That means you will have your attack factor times 3 if you charge the enemy with your horses. Sometimes this can be lower. It can be 2, sometimes higher, but 3 is pretty good. And this charge multiplier multiple is the amount when you smash in, you can continue your charge sort of attack for 3 hexes, and then the charge sort of dies out and stuff. So that's important to keep track of. Of course, the time parameters is important as well. Let's have a look. This 50-minute turns. Dawn is at 6:30. Dusk at 7. Stacking is very important as well. 1,200 men. It's quite a lot. Cavalry's 400. It's kind of low, so that's something to keep track of. Skirmishers and the rest is, yeah, they have different line values here, but we'll go down here. What's this? Command distances. We can check that in game. Here you have the order values. So Prussia has 5. And where are we? France, Bavaria, Spain, Habsburgs 10. Don't have the Austrians here. Maybe they're the Habsburgs, maybe. 10. So the Prussians are 5, man. So they're pretty good. They're the best of the lot. So, and line movement, stuff like that. Terrain modifiers, we could check that in game. Here are some values. Everybody seems to have the same kind of values for killing officers and stuff. Column fire is pretty bad for everyone. So this is the age of linear combat. And all the column melees are really bad as well. Minus 60 for everybody here, so it's pretty bad. And that's about it. I think that's most important. All this other stuff is, what does it say? Weather is clear. So visibility can be up to 18 hexes. That's a lot. All right. So we check that out. Let's check out victory conditions. What do we need? Anti-pragmatic. We are pragmatic. So the first side was anti-pragmatic. So they need 300 for a major. They already have 200 points for the victory location. So they don't need that much, man, to push a major. So we need to not take that many casualties and, do a lot of damage. And we might not even have to capture some objectives. We just need to play well. What are these? That's 100 points. 50 pop to 200 points, yeah. So look at the map, zoom out a bit. So we have forces over here. That's interesting. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the forces here. So what's on the flank here? We have Nadasti's famous brigade. So Hauptarmee, Corps de Reserve Brigade. So these are, what are these? Quality C. They have carbines, so they're sort of Cossacks or sort of dragoons, maybe, you know, lightly armed. They have carbines. They could probably dismount and stuff. They're all spread all over this place here. They are detached, of course. Yeah, they're all over the place. Is that the whole brigade there? Wow, look at this. It's huge. Sort of a screen here for sort of detect the enemy, I guess. Okay, we need to do something about that. We might want to pull them up and form them up somewhere on the flank here. We can use them. Unless this is a different historical account and there are some Prussian forces here, I'm not sure. It shouldn't be any here, but I don't know. We need to form these guys. They're all detached and stuff, so... Right, what else do we got? So here we have this Hohenems. Okay, yeah, here we have this cavalry wing. So these are pretty good horses. This should be pretty good. What do we got here? We got these are just your regular cavalry. They got swords. Melee +1, quality C. These are Württembergs. They're all. We got some heavy cavalry as well. They have sort of cuirasses, and so these are my shock cavalry. And we have some heavy cavalry here as well. Normal cavalry and even more heavy cavalry here. So these are my smashers, and these are. Yeah, these can smash pretty good. Cavalry's not that bad in this game. Cavalry is pretty vicious. Since you have the age of you can't form blocks and stuff. So even a frontal charge, man, with heavy cavalry, if you have, like, as in this case, it's 400 horses. 400 horses smashing into a line with 500 or 400 men. It's going to do a shitload of damage, you know. So... But of course, you're going to be met by a well-prepared volley if the unit has been stationary. That's going to be deadly for the cavalry. But flanks and rear attacks and disorder is your friend for cavalry if you're engaging anything, even other cavalry. Sometimes you don't have a choice. You know, you just have to smash in and cause some disorder, and then, you know, follow up with other cavalry. Right? We've got something interesting here. These are Croatian troops, I think. Croatan? These are light infantry. So we have some light. They're dispersed in skirmishes here. Right off the bat, this looks very dangerous because I know there's Prussian cavalry in the area, and these skirmishes will be run down if the enemy charges. So we got to be careful with these. So the visibility is only 4 hexes, so we can't see much here. Okay. Okay, we have a lot of these skirmishers all over the place. They're all over in front of the cavalry here. We'll see what we have to do with that. We have something else. We have Battiani. I think Battiani was used in the forward attack. He has a lot of... He has... All his cavalry is heavy, so he has a real shock force here. Wow, you can see the command radius is not the best. See the small the command radius are for these battalion brigade commanders. Even the divisional commander is pretty bad. Yeah, but these battalions, you need to keep your cavalry very tight, you know, to be able to pass on orders and stuff. Here's the main meat of the fight. We have our infantry lined up. We have Baron Tungen. He's the main, but we have the Prince. The Prince is actually on the field of battle as well. He's charge of the first line, it seems. This guy as well. Not the best ratings. Actually, rating A. C. He's probably having the benefit of something here. Of the commander being, the prince being so close. We have a second line here. Yeah, so you can see these guys are quality C and stuff. We don't really have any real badasses here. Most are D and stuff, so they are not the best. Second line is C. Okay. And we have the flanking cavalry here. Dalana. So he's got some heavy cavalry as well. Interesting. And we have Linden. Alright, so that is the scene of the battle. So we need visibility to improve. We have guns in the forward positions here. We have 6 12-pounders lined up. 4 howitzers, range 12. These have range 15, pretty good range. Is that all the guns we have? I think so. We have 10 guns. Wow. Not a lot. Okay, so what to do here? I'm gonna make some decisions, right? So movement and stuff is, as I've showcased in many of the games, but I can go over it. So you have your card here. You have this arrow symbolizes what they are, where they are facing. Some more data here, as we checked. Movement is just clicking. You can do command movements with Alt and Control, I think a Shift. I don't usually use those commands. I usually like to sort of move my units by single unit clicks, because I like to have more of a control of it. So what to do here? We know Frederick is, well, actually the Austrians didn't know it, but I know it, but the Austrians are coming. So let's see, what should we do with this huge cavalry screen here? And the Daci's. So I thought maybe I would pull this cavalry together somewhere around here. In that way we can see if anything is approaching from here as well. We can sort of try to deal with it, but we could also try to form them up here and do like a non-historical attack and move sort of through here. We probably will stumble upon Frederick's forces then, so we won't be doing that. It won't be that good versus infantry. I think these are pretty light cavalry. So I think I want to move them, set them up somewhere around here. So we could play 3D as well. So let's see how far these guys can move. Let's see. Okay, so it'll take some time to get them organized. But I think we'll do that. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to make a plan as we go. This force was I didn't anticipate this force here on the flank, since I didn't actually read anything about those in that particular battle. I looked up a situation or account of this battle. So we're gonna have to play with these a bit freely. So I'm gonna move them, start moving them. So you can do like quick movement. You can just sort of right click the hex you want it to go, and the computer sort of chooses the path. Let's see how this can move. So they can cross. Let's get them up there. So these are different formations. These are Pestvemagere something. And these are Karolai. Okay. 154 men. That's a big one. Are these the same? Yeah, they're the same. Wow, look at the distance they have to move here, man. Alright, I'm pulling these away. Let's have a look at this guy's command radius. Oh, man, it's small. Okay. So keep those guys in, not to, so that they're moving over there. Now, what to do with so what I right off the bat, what I want to do with my infantry is sort of I want to straighten them out. I want to have a clear battle line. I don't particularly like this way of approach. I want to straighten this line out. I have two lines moving straight up, and keep my cavalry on the flank. So how to do that? So, okay, what about these skirmishes? Okay, let's try and... Okay, so the infantry needs to really form up. I think in the line with the guns would be good. So that's going to take a lot of movement to get them... Okay, first of all, we're going to have to deal with the skirmishers. So these three... As I click this organization button, highlight organization... These three belong to this unit here. Kind of tempted to pull my skirmishers back a bit. Or not. We'll concentrate them more. So they're all detached here. Yeah, so, oh man, look at we'll just have one of these brigades in command. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, so we want to move this wing up. We want to shift this whole thing up so we get a straight line going here. That means we're going to have to move... These guys can move max. We're sending them forward. The infantry was sent forward first in this battle. Just want to see if I can get a sort of a line going here. We'll put them right behind the guns. Yeah, so let's see. Can they face like forward? No. So they either face that way or that way. Okay. It'll be a crooked line, I guess. Yeah, it'll be a crooked line, but it's okay. It's okay. They move max, yeah. So let's get this guy up, get the wagon up there. They can move forward a bit. So he is nowhere near having all these commanders within command range. You can have two commanders within range there. We'll see. Yeah, he should be detached. Yeah, and all these are. Wow, that is a big force for him to command. Look at them. He will never be able to have them all in command. Yes, maybe them. He's got his in command there. Okay. We'll move this second line up as well. Let's see, that is actually might be a smaller line there. Let's get him up there. A bit further up, maybe. bit close, but what's his command radius? Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, he won't be able to keep both those guys in command. Let's get them up. All right, it's looking pretty like disorganized now, but so let's see what I can do with my cavalry. Let's see. So we might want to get them up a bit. At least on this ridge. And I want them to face that direction. This guy up here should have all command now. Yep. And he's also he's the divisional commander of them as well. Okay. We might want to get this cavalry force a bit forward as well. Probably will not be in command. Oh. Well, at least have my heavy cavalry in command. Let's get these guys up as well. Might want to move them on the flank. We might want to have a huge sort of cavalry wing going here. Sort of like that, maybe. Just want to position them to be ready to face that potential Prussian attack from there. So I'm going to leave this cavalry stationary for now. We're just going to get a big line of infantry and then move forward. So I'm happy about that. We don't have any reinforcements. Nope. No reinforcements. So let's see if I forgot anything. Probably, yeah, all my skirmishers, but I did move some of them. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the computer does. I have no idea. Let's just save it. So we have a melee face. There's nothing to melee, so that's anti-pragmatic. It's going to be 7:15 a.m. now. Yeah, so this is definitely the age of linear warfare. It's basically just march up as close as you can. Hope your infantry don't break apart by enemy fire, and then unleash your volley of fire. Whoever gets most damage first and disorder is going to be the on the attack. You're going to be trying to smash them and get them to rout. So we'll see how that works out. So skirmishers weren't used as much in this kind of warfare. They were mostly used. Light infantry were used to hold important objectives, but they weren't used that much on the sort of battlefield. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to have them deployed like this, because I know there's quite a lot of cavalry around. Look at all that infantry, man. Okay, so he has a melee phase? Nothing. Right, we still have visibility 4. So, okay. Well, let's form up Nadasti's cavalry here first. So, let's see, it was 400 horses. Yeah, so these are 154. So there's about 300 horses there. Let's get this in there. Let's get this guy over here, maybe. He's part of this. And we have one over here straggling here. So they should be formed up, ready to be used in some manner. Could be good if we have a cavalry fight going on here. They could be coming in the flank there. And they should all now be in almost command range. Okay. Not really, but we'll still have some work to do there. Okay. Yeah. So this skirmish thing. Send them forward a bit and scout. Oh, there's something. We have sight on the enemy. Okay. Okay, this is very dangerous. I don't know what that is, if that's cavalry or not. It's a big force. 612 men. Quality B as well. You know what? I might want to put them in there. 730. We'll see what happens what that is. I'm not sure. It looks like there's a threat going on there. Put those guys back as well. So this commander here, lousy command radius, man. I might want to get these guys in command now that we're so close. Sure, let's keep advancing a bit. Okay, so we do have some thing going on there. They're blocking my own cavalry, though. We'll see what happens. All right, straighten this line out. See, we got the guns, but the guns, I don't see any artillery duel going on here. We'll leave them sort of open there. So now we have a I have a bump in my line here because the guns. I don't want to block the guns. Maybe I can get some infantry in there, and those guns can fire anyways. They have they still have 50%. 75. Those guns are bigger. We'll leave them like that. Okay, so they are actually... Oh, that's good enough. So I don't want this line to be too close. It is pretty close now, actually. Like that, maybe? Okay, we'll have to do. Wow, okay. We're probably going to get some sort of reaction from the enemy now. Let's position our cavalry a bit smarter here. Let's get this heavy cavalry. Top of this hill facing a bit. That. And we have cavalry here. Let's put them on the ridge. get our heavy cavalry facing the enemy. I think we should have everybody facing the right way in case we need to charge in that general direction. They could be fine there. Yeah, this is my it's gonna be my main thrust. Let's see his command radius here. Okay, maybe get them here. Commander there. If that's cavalry, he's probably going to go. He's trying wants to kill some. We're probably going to be losing some of these, but we'll see what happens. We'll immediately countercharge him if he tries that. So I'm kind of tempted to put these guys a bit forward. Let's see, can they? Yeah, all right. And I moved all that, trying to straighten my. It's looking pretty messy here, but if you zoom out, it'll be sort of a line of infantry going. I want my main body to just go straight up here and meet the Prussians here. And if this cavalry, as it was historically here, we're going to go for an attack, I might want to sort that cavalry wing out a bit. Still early days, though. Still early days. So, are any of these no, they're not what do you call it? Detached. Oh, maybe we'll just leave it like that. We'll see what happens. All right. Let's go. No melee. Let's see what the Prussians do, man. Oh, wow. Visibility jumped to 18. So the whole... Oh, well. Yeah. Okay. He charged. He slaughtered... he just overran that the skirmish attachment there. They got killed. There's guns as well. Yeah. 120 men were just slaughtered by that cavalry charge. Okay, there's more cavalry here. Interesting. I don't think he was anticipating that. He's sort of changing facing there. All right. Okay, we got the Prussian infantry. It looks like they're actually moving out of the village. They did do that historically as well. As the Austrians was getting close, the Prussians actually did a sort of a preempted charge there. Wow. Okay. He's probably going to open up with his guns as well. It looks like my guns can fire on these guys, if I'm lucky. Okay, the Battle of Chotusitz. Very interesting. So we basically need to engage his cavalry as fast as possible and start that big-ass cavalry attack on the flank there. Yeah, so the Prussian infantry is going to be the problem, man. They are badasses. They are well drilled. They're probably like quality A and B. Oh shit! Oh, hit my cavalry. Okay. No melee. All right. Okay, we got hit. We got hit by cannonballs from this hill here. 4 guns, not that much. Okay, wow. We're going to end it here, actually. Turn 3. We're going to pick up the action in the next part. Hope you guys are going to enjoy this. So we're going to be looking at the Austrian Wars of Succession here. We're going to be exploring the new title from Wargame Design Studio, man. And we're going to see how cool this sort of era plays out. It's looking very interesting, man. Just want to see here. Yeah, so look at that. He just 121. Have we lost? Oh yeah, we lost cavalry for the cannonballs. That's right. 121 men was killed right off the bat there. So that's kind of a sneaky thing. to have the, or you would probably think you would want to move them up and they would get slaughtered by this cavalry here. I was sort of thinking that would be the case, but we're going to quickly get these guys back into their main force. Probably going to send my light infantry. They're going to try and go for the guns, and my cavalry is going to try and take care of them. This wing is going to smash in here. I'm going to use them here. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a big ass fight going on there. Right, well, thank you for watching, man. We'll see you in the next part. Have a good one.